In a time when emotional narratives dominate conversations about relationships, one harsh truth remains overlooked. The wrong woman can destroy a man's life more thoroughly than any external enemy. Men are taught to be kind, generous, and emotionally available. Yet far too often, these very traits become the tools of their downfall. Not because kindness or generosity are inherently wrong, but because they are extended without discernment. A man who gives his trust too quickly, who offers loyalty to someone who hasn't earned it, or who tolerates disrespect in the name of love, sets himself up for manipulation. For example, many men stay in relationships where they are emotionally drained, simply because they feel responsible for the woman's happiness, mistaking sacrifice for strength. This video presents a deeper framework for how high-value men approach romantic relationships, not through impulse or infatuation, but through strategy, clarity, and purpose. Drawing on the unflinching insights of Machiavelli, it reveals how disciplined men build lasting legacies by choosing women with precision rather than passion. Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." In today's culture, appearances dominate decision-making. Beauty, charm, and allure hold immense influence, but for the strategic man, these are only surface traits. True discernment begins by watching behavior, not listening to words. A high-value woman is not merely attractive, she brings peace, reinforces discipline, and respects masculine leadership. The wise man observes how a woman treats those who offer her nothing. He watches how she responds to pressure, boredom, and silence. Many men mistake attention for affection, a misjudgment that often begins when they fail to see beyond a flattering smile. The strategic man knows to look beneath the surface. He understands that attention can be a tactic, not a truth. Affection must be earned and tested. A polished exterior with a hollow interior is not a queen, it's a liability disguised as a gift. Masculinity is not about domination, it is about direction. If a woman cannot respect a man's vision, she will inevitably compete with it. Machiavelli warned, "A prince who is not wise himself cannot be wisely advised." In relationships, a man who tolerates resistance under the guise of love becomes a servant in his own house. High-value men do not seek control. They require mutual respect. If she opposes your mission instead of standing beside it, she does not belong in your kingdom. Character is not revealed during joyful moments. It shows up in discomfort. Can she sit with silence? Can she find peace in simplicity? Or does she stir conflict to feel alive? A woman who cannot find stillness will crumble under pressure. True character is measured not by smiles and joy, but by grace and discomfort. For instance, when a woman remains calm during a disagreement, resists the urge to lash out, or supports you through uneventful seasons, that's grace. Her strength appears in how she handles disappointment, stillness, or change. Contemporary advice urges men to ignore a woman's past, but Machiavelli taught that history is the only teacher for those who dare to govern. A woman's choices, loyalties, and values before you are the clearest indicators of who she is. If she has betrayed, disrespected, or exploited others, don't believe you will be the exception. Patterns do not lie. Her history is not a closed book, it's a forecast. A man without purpose becomes consumed by relationships. When a woman becomes the center of his world, he loses the very foundation that earns respect. No woman is your purpose, your mission is. As Nietzsche said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. A worthy woman complements your purpose, she never competes with it. Loyalty is not proven in your presence, it's revealed in your absence. Does she honor your name when you're not around? Does she protect your values, even when there's no reward? Machiavelli's dictum, "It is much safer to be feared than loved, if one must choose," was not a call for cruelty, it was a reminder of the strength found in boundaries. Women test boundaries. The man who fails to enforce them forfeits respect. Boundaries are not about control, they are about self-respect and clarity. They define your standards and expectations. When consistently upheld, they foster mutual trust and strength. What ruins most men isn't weakness, it's self-deception. They believe love is enough. They think their patience will fix dysfunction. But no amount of loyalty replaces alignment, and no act of sacrifice saves a relationship built on clashing values. The woman who respects your standards will rise. The one who doesn't will resent you for having them. Comfort convinces men to stay in destructive situations. The illusion of endless options breeds recklessness. Swiping endlessly leads to poor selection. Machiavelli said, "Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony." A careless choice in love can cost more than time. It can destroy your future. Respect cannot be begged for. It is commanded. When a woman sees a man lower his standards to keep her, she doesn't feel loved. She loses respect. The man who shrinks to maintain peace invites contempt. The man who upholds his values, even at the risk of loss, earns reverence. Every man must ask, is this woman building with me, or dismantling what I've built? There is no neutral option. Every woman either multiplies or subtracts. She adds to your purpose or drains it. Machiavelli's core insight applies to relationships. If you cannot be both loved and respected, choose respect. Love without respect becomes dependence, and dependence leads to ruin. You are not here to gamble your destiny. You are here to build it, and the woman beside you will either fortify your legacy or weaken it from within. Observe her, test her, trust her patterns more than her promises. Be kind, but sharp, open, but grounded, because no man rises by accident. He rises by design, by choosing a partner with the same care he would choose a general to guard his kingdom. The woman beside you is not just a lover. She is either the strength of your foundation or the crack that brings it down. Choose her as a leader would, because no kingdom survives long when its gates are unguarded. If this video gave you value, then like it, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more content. Until then, sweet dreams.